Have you or someone you might know has gone through depression? Depression is a very common thing that a lot of people go through. Some people may go through depression for just a little couple of days, weeks, months, or even up to years. Depression can be caused by many things, not just by one. For instance, or for example, some form you can get depression is by being abused or mentally abused, death or losses, etc. Stuff like that. But personally, I think it's really important to know more, or even for me to tell you about depression, because with this whole quarantine situation that's been going on, like, it's crazy. People are feeling down or even feeling depressed because, like, we're just locked in. We really can't do much. There's not a lot of things to do, and there's a whole pandemic going on. Like, it just sucks. Like, right now, we're online school, and some people like to interact and feel down, like how I do. But I suffer from depression. I actually been diagnosed with depression for quite a while now, and personally, I just think it's a good idea to just talk about it and learn more about it, and to inform you guys about it. So maybe that one day, like, with the information I give you guys, you can help somebody in need, somebody that you care about, and just be there for them. But today, of course, I'm going to inform you about depression and how it's a very serious mental illness. But first, I'm going to be talking about the different types of depressions. You may think that there's only just one, but there's actually multiple kinds out there. And then later on, I'm going to talk about the symptoms of depressions and how some of them are different from the other ones. And then last but not least, I'm going to be talking about some coping skills, some things you can help with depression. For starters, I will begin by talking about the different types of depression. Of course, like I said, depression can be caused by many things, not just by one. With that, people may think that depression is just, there's only one type of depression, but that's not really the case. Depression there's multiple different type of depressions out there that some people may think. For example, according to WMD.com, some people may suffer from major depression, manic depression, and just even depressive psychosis. And those are just a few little examples about depressions. Like, there's actually a lot, but personally, I just knew about major depression and, like, I guess not major depression. I don't know what it's really called. I kind of forgot. But personally, I feel like you guys should search it up more because it's actually really interesting to learn more about it. But now that I talked about the different types of depression, I'm going to be talking about the symptoms and how they're different from each other. In the article by Healthline, it states all the different types of symptoms for each different type of depression. But some of the most common some of the most common symptoms for just depression in general are just the feeling of sadness, of course, the sleep changes, like maybe you don't sleep a lot, or you either sleep a lot or just don't even get sleep at all, or the lack of energy, or even the lack of interest in the things you want to do or the things that you enjoy doing. You just want to be in bed all day and do nothing, be a slug. But those are just some of a few examples. There's a whole lot. Like I said, there's a lot of lists or a lot of like examples in there. But those symptoms may differ. The symptoms may differ from depending on the depression. For instance, for the manic depression, some of the symptoms are really weird but really interesting. For example, they get high energy. Instead of them feeling down and like sluggish, they're really high and hyper. And then another symptom is increased self-esteem and confidence. For some people, depression may feel like, oh, like I look ugly, but this one, you feel high, like amazing, like your self-esteem is higher than usual, and then you feel high. Basically, you just feel like you're high all the time. And yeah, but personally, like I personally think you guys should check it out. Like, there's a bunch of lists there, and all it talks about the different symptoms and the different type of depression there is. But now that I talk about the different types of symptoms, I'm going to be talking about some good ways you cope with it and some just coping skills in general. There really isn't like a way to cope with it. Like, for some people, Their coping skills may be like bad, for others they may be good. Like, it just depends on how you see it. But personally, for me, the way I cope with my depression is just distracting myself. I just run away